Hey y'all, I am doing this video because I realize that many of us are afraid to live in our passion because we're living under the ideology that we're supposed to pick one thing, be great at it, or as best we can at it, and let that be. Unfortunately, what happens with that is we fail to satisfy the other parts of us that are saying, I want to go do this, I want to go do that, and I want to go do this. Too often, we're living according to the ideology of being a jack of all trades and a master of none. Personally, I think, and this wasn't by any pressure of any family members or, anybody, I think I just took that phrasing and went too far with it. So I've always wanted to be a psychologist. I used to want to be a nail tech. I've always been into theater. I was theater club president. I was in drama club, middle school, high school. Went to Winthrop because of an event that we went to from high school that was related to theater. But at some point, it was kind of like, okay, pick one, try to be great at it, and make it work. But that didn't work for me. Like, I don't just want to be a therapist, and I don't want to be a therapist under the terms of the state of South Carolina or anybody else. I want to be a therapist that's actually helping people grow, and not necessarily by any means necessary, definitely in the most ethical way possible. But sometimes bureaucracy and our own mind limitations put us in a box, and we don't ever fulfill all our passions. Of course, now we're living in an economy where it's a hustle side gig type economy. You have to be doing something else to make it. And I've had the luxury of always being a part of a family who have been entrepreneurs. I've never had a regular job unless you count the 6 weeks that I worked the telephone thon at Winthrop University, or 4 weeks, whatever it was. But I've never had a traditional job. I've always been a contractor of sorts. I have an LLC, I have a nonprofit, and I found myself boxing myself in, limiting myself because I felt like I gotta pick and choose. I just want to tell y'all that your deity did not put a passion on your heart for you to have to pick and choose. That's not to say that you should not cultivate one thing before moving on to another. It's not to say that you should have 50 projects going on at one time. But what it is to say that it's okay for you to adventure and figure out who you are and what you want to do. You can be a therapist and a nail tech. You can be, two things that are seemingly unrelated, and that is okay. You need to live within your passion and not the passion of anybody else. And very specifically, I'd like to say that we are in a gig economy. You're going to have people, oh, I got this business venture, I got this business venture, and I got this business venture. It's okay to say no. You can't live nobody else's passion. And bottom line is, what we see happening over and over and over again is people get into these businesses. They are passionless. They're not dedicated. All they know is they got a check coming at the end of the week, and eventually that business burns and crashes. Those same people that are bragging about all the trips they're on, all the money they're making, and they're doing it without any passion, it doesn't always last. And if it does, I guarantee you there's some other part of their life that they're lacking. And you don't have to be that person. So it's okay. No, I don't want to join that business. I don't want to join that business. Let me find out what works for me and go from there. I just want to encourage everybody to live within your passion. You need your job to pay your bills, go to work. but don't forget to work on your own passion. Don't forget to work on you. Don't forget to sit down and take your time and figure out who you are and what you want. I don't care if you're 50, I don't care if you're 60, I don't care if you're 70. When you figure out what it is you want, you put forth effort to that thing. You were not given that passion by your deity for you to be mediocre. It just ain't how that's supposed to happen. And it's funny because I sit down and I watch people. Tiffany J, this girl, and this girl got 11 jobs going on, and she's really good at all of them. She's not necessarily doing it because she got a paycheck coming at the end. Certainly she should be paid for her services. She's good at what she does, but she's doing it because she has a passion. Corey LeBou, he out here, this boy, child, let me tell you, we went to school together. I love me some Corey. Corey, this ain't no, I done told you, I'm proud of you. But Corey will tell you himself, he was definitely not on what one would have considered the road to success. But the boy found his passion and he doing it. My best friend, Deidre, has a very good job. I'm not going to say what you work at because they ain't, But in the midst of that, she found that her passion was related to shirt designs. So guess what? She did what she had to do to create her business to have shirt designs. Now, let me be clear. Everybody's not going to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's not going to start a business, go out here and do this, that, or the third. And that's okay. But find your passion in whatever it is you're doing. Do not allow anybody to put you in a box. Do not allow yourself to box you in, because we get in our own way so much. I just had to say all of this because I have been wanting to do this. I had 3-4 notebooks down here of things I want to do. I want my nonprofit to be beneficial to our community. I want my business to be beneficial to my community and to me and my pockets, make sure my home is taken care of. But everything that I am writing down is in reference to my passion. And one other thing, because this was supposed to be real quick. One other thing and one simple thing. If you keep coming back around to the exact same ideas, with the understanding that they're ethical and legal, if you keep coming back around to those exact same ideas over and over and over again, somebody trying to tell you something. Your subconscious, your deity, however you want to say it, you need to take action on that thing. Google it. Figure out what it is you need to do to become the best in that and just do it. We hide behind ourselves. We hide behind what our mama says, what our dad says, what society says we should be. We hide all the time. At some point, we got to just get up and do it. And that's all it boils down to. I don't even have anything else to say but that. Just do it. Like, there is nobody holding you back but you. And I know it sounds so cliche, but when we sit down and think about what we wanted to do or how we could have done it or what we should have done, okay, cool, you ain't did it this time, but let's do it better next time. Let's do it that way next time. Stop holding yourself back because you're afraid of what you may or may not do. And I swear to you, I'm talking to myself as well. And most people who know me, I've had people tell me, but you seem like you got it all together. I do, to whatever degree. But I ain't been living in my passion. I've been living in, okay, my bills got to get paid. I got to have a little savings over here. I got to have this, that, and the third. Those things are taken care of, but I'm still lacking. I'm still empty with something on this end over here. So all of this was to say, live inside your passion. Don't live in nobody else's passion. Don't let nobody take your passion away from you. Don't let nobody tell you You and more than anything, celebrate yourself even for the smallest accomplishments. Don't let nobody tell you you can't brag on yourself. See, I'm bragging because I'm happy that I'm walking in my path. And then there's, I'm bragging because I'm arrogant. Now, you need to find a line, but it is definitely okay to brag on yourself. And one thing, your path may not have been ideal for growth. It may not have been ideal for you being this bomb business person or whatever. But that's what society said. That's what this person over here said. What do you say? Do you say that every single thing that you have gone through in your life is bringing you to this point? Be it good, bad, ugly, indifferent, whatever. All of it brought you to the point that you are at now, where you're trying to figure out what your next move is. So don't be mad at yourself. Don't be upset at yourself. Don't hate yourself because I shouldn't have did this and I shouldn't have did this. Man, I done been in jail. I done done this. I done done that. It ain't never too late to do you. And in the great words of Tiffany J, can't nobody do you better than you. Well, she said, can't nobody do me better than me? But you get my point. Like, you have to make the concerted effort to do something different in your life. Me, I have been in the courier service since I've been, 13, 14 years old. It was, okay, you want to go, you live here, you got to pay bill. You got to pay a little water bill so you can get an understanding of what it is when you get out there on your own. And when I turned 15, my dad like, you want this car? Here go, you gonna have to, here go the keys, but you gotta go to work. So every day after school, I went and ran a quick route. Back then, we was making real money. And it was crazy because I'm in high school and I'm making all this money and I'm barely, I'm not working that many hours, I don't do nothing, but I'm making this money. And I got caught up in it. My parents never pressured me into anything, but I always thought from a more logical standpoint of making sure certain things were put in place. And because I was so logical, oftentimes I ignored my passion. I got caught up, I ain't gonna lie. We was making money. And as long as we was making money, I was gonna continue to do what I was doing. Theoretically, I would have been able to continue to do that and also go for my passion or go for something else over here. But once I started making that money, I stopped looking at my passion, but my notebook kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I realized you circling around some of the exact same ideas. It's time for you to make a move. So what you gonna do? And here I am at 32, about to be 33 years old in a couple months, saying to you, whether you are 15, 16, 17, 50, 80, 90, I don't care. Once you sit down and you figure out who you are, what you want out of life, and you accept what you have done, good, bad, or ugly, and you forgive yourself for anything that you feel you need to forgive yourself for, I want you to seek your passion. Live based on your passion. It was not set in your lap, in your spirit from your deity for you not to utilize it. If you are passionate about mopping floors at McDonald's, you better mop the hell out of them floors. Them things better be spick and span. You better take pride in every bit of making sure your floors are clean and they stay clean. And check people when they doing the wrong thing. Let them know that, hey, I know you here and you may not think much of this place, but I do. Don't mess my stuff up. You have to set a standard in your life for what you want. You can't allow nobody to do that for you. You can't allow anybody to tell you what you're supposed to have, what you're not supposed to have. You ain't got to. And let me tell y'all something. I come from a family, and I ramble sometimes, but stay with me for a second. I come from a family of homeowners, and I just told my uncle this yesterday. I have been blessed to see home ownership on a multiple generational level. My grandparents, my parents, my aunts, my uncles, several of my cousins. I have been blessed to see that. I'm in an apartment. Never thought I would have ever been in an apartment. But it works best for me in this moment. And I'm fine with it. I enjoy coming to my space, turning my key on my door. I get in my paid for vehicles. They old as all get out, but they're mine and they're paid for. I enjoy being in my space. I say all of that to say again, don't allow anybody to tell you where you're supposed to be at. And another thing, don't allow that theoretical timeline that you set up for yourself to end up making you hate yourself more than you ever have. Don't allow that theoretical timeline end up making you not get anything because you feel like you hadn't made it to this step or that step or that step by now. Sometimes plans change. You reroute, keep it moving. That's all it boils down to. Now I'm gonna stop talking because I had no intention of this video being as long. But if you don't take anything else from what I'm saying, living your passion is gonna direct you where you're supposed to be going. I don't care how awful your life was. I don't care what you've been through. Now, as a psychology person, I do, and a coach, I do wish that you would sit down with yourself and really figure out where you're in, they get to that nitty gritty. But understand it does not have to define you. You won't always be better than your worst situation, because you know why? What you've seen as a failure, you should start seeing as a lesson.